Folks, howdy. This is Black Dragon. Welcome to Black Dragon Biker TV. And as always, I'd like to thank you all for tuning in from wherever it is in the world that you happen to be. Man, I don't know what's going on with this channel. Uh, I can't hear anything. I don't hear nothing. So the question is, can you guys hear me? Um, you can set this damn shit up, and I swear to God, come in the morning and nothing's working. So, um, do you guys hear me? Because I'm doing the show completely blind. Um, and so as you can see, I am freaking frustrated. I'm frustrated. I guess there won't be any applause because I don't hear it. Anyway, this is why I hate going live because live sucks. I don't know if you guys hear my music and stuff, so we won't have that. I'm just gonna go straight off the cuff, man, because nothing's working in the studio. But as long as you can hear me, this is weird talking to myself. Nothing's working. But anyway, I'm Black Dragon. As long as you guys can hear me, we're gonna do this blind. You won't mind if I sit here with my eyes closed. Thanks for tuning in. I'd like to thank you guys for tuning in to Black Dragon Biker TV, biker news you can trust. And as always, I'd like to thank you for tuning in from wherever it is in the world that you happen to be. And this is weird, man, but we're gonna try to go forward with it. I got a couple messages in my inbox over the past couple days. It's kind of funny because they were both dealing with Iron Order Motorcycle Club. And one guy asked me, and then it's really kind of weird because Hollywood from Insane Throttle Biker News, Hollywood has been doing some things about Iron Order here lately that haven't been necessarily kind, if you will, been kind of mocking and that kind of thing. And uh, I I always try to kind of stay out of that kind of stuff when it comes to, motorcycle clubs and talking negatively about them and everything. You guys know that's just never been my style. If you're on a motorcycle in a club, uh, RC, motorcycle association, riding club, whatever the case may be, if that's what you're doing, I love you. I love all bikers. I love all bike clubs. I love all independent people. I don't have issues. You're a 1%er. That's fine. You're a 99%er. That's fine. You're a family club, traditional, whatever. It's fine with me. As long as you're on two wheels or in some cases three, I feel like we share the same brotherhood, that kind of thing. But I got a couple calls, not calls, but messages. And one guy said, "What is it with Iron Order?" And I thought about it like there are many people who don't know. Um, because it's kind of like there are people that are just now coming into basketball and they don't know who Michael Jordan is, have no idea. They don't know who Scottie Pippen is. They don't know who Bill Russell is or any of that. They know who the people are now. They can tell you who LeBron James is, but they might not be able to tell you who Kobe Bryant is or was. So it's kind of funny because after you've been around a while, you've seen all these things come and go. And you have to take into account that there are people coming in every day new and they might not understand what you're so pissed off about. So I thought I've only spoken about Iron Order a couple times. Like Hollywood from Insane Throttle wrote a book about them. and often speaks about them. I've only spoken about them a couple of times in the whole so many years I've been doing this. And my first um, time I ever heard about them at all, period, was in 2014, maybe, when I wrote my first book, The Prospects Bible, um, how to join a traditional law-abiding motorcycle club. And I didn't realize that by naming my book that, I would have caused so much angst and anger. What do you mean a law-abiding motorcycle club? Like, we're not law-abiding? Like, bro, I wasn't talking about you. I was talking about my book. And one of the things what people would say in the beginning is, oh, this guy must be one of them Iron Order people. And so instantly, I realized that Iron Order was some sort of a name you didn't particularly want to be associated with. I instantly realized that. And it was like, why not? Like, who are these guys? So one of the letters I got, and I say letters, it was actually a message from one of my boards. One of the messages I got was, hey, what is it with Iron Order? Like, I met some of these guys. They had me come over and hang out with them. I have a cousin that's in them, or a best friend or something like that. I don't have the letter up. But I have a cousin or a best friend or something that hangs out with them. So I went, a guy I went to high school with that I've known forever, hung out with him. I went and hung out with him. And the only reason I didn't ask the prospect is that they are 3 hours away from me. And that's one hell of a ride. But if one was closer, but then I get all this stuff about them, and I just really don't know why they're so hated. Can you explain to me why? Because I really don't know, what the problem is with these guys. And we just want to take a special time out to recognize Compass over there in Russia. Man, glad to see you're doing okay, man. Love you with all our hearts. And man, you've been through hell. So we need to talk to you again soon. But so anyway, another guy wrote me and said, would you mind doing a video about Iron Order? Because, Hollywood's been jumping on them lately, and we'd like to get your opinion. So, first of all, let me say, I have no opinion that would be negative or positive towards them as a motorcycle club. Like, I don't have an opinion about anybody's motorcycle club but my own. I stay in my own lane, and you never find me talking negatively about anybody's motorcycle club. I'm not getting ready to talk negatively about Plainclothes Motorcycle Club, if you guys have been following that. And I don't like to talk negatively about bikers. There's a couple I don't like, and you guys know, like, I don't like Chuck Gines. Everybody knows that. But I try not to talk negatively about people. So I let other people do that. Everybody knows me as the love guy. I love people. But I can tell you what I've heard. And it may be right, it may not be right, it might be accurate, it might not be accurate. It's what I've heard. And I have a little bit of insight because at one time I did speak to, I was doing my reporter thing, and I was able to get in touch with the international president of Iron Order, and he spoke to me off the record, which is what all these damn clubs do. I can't get anyone to talk to me on the record. I was hoping that there would be some clapping there. I don't know if it actually is going on or not. But so somebody says, well, why are they so hated? And I'm going to try to give my best rendition of that. And somebody says, well, why are they, well, why shouldn't I join them or whatever or whatever? So let me just give my best rendition from what I've heard. And because they won't come on the air like most clubs, then they're not going to come on and say whether I'm right or wrong. I might get an email, and so people might, if I get a few emails or whatever, I might come back and readjust this. But from what I know, okay, is some guys got together somewhere, and I looked this up. They were, oh my goodness, where did I can do that right here. So Iron Order MC. So they do have, there is a Wikipedia. There we go. So this much you can get from the Wikipedia on the guys. And I'll pull this up for y'all. So share entire screen to boom. All right. So Iron Order Motorcycle Club is a motorcycle club that was formed on July 4, 2004. So I didn't know that. July 4, 2004. So the first time I ever heard about them, they were already 10 years old. In Jeffersonville, Indiana, with a worldwide membership of members, the Iron Order is one of the largest and fastest growing motorcycle clubs in the world. I don't know. That's what Wikipedia says. The IOMC has chapters in nearly every U.S. state and in 11 countries around the world. So at this point, they're 18 years old. They had 8 founders. So that's what that, probably what that 8 means in their thing. Bad Dog, Big Rick, Chief, Copper, Doc, Ice, Izod, who was probably one of the most infamous people around. He might have been, I know he was the national for a while, international. And then a guy named Professor. They were founded in Jefferson, Indiana. Their territory is worldwide. It says their membership is more than 2,000 people. Interesting. And their activities, local charities, and then it lists their rivals, and they got a hell of a lot of them. Hells Angels, Banditos, Black Pistons, Brother Speed, Free Souls, Gypsy Jokers, Mongols, Outlaws, Pagans, Rock Machine, Sons of Silence, Vagos, Warlocks, Outcast. Just the ones that are listed. So don't nobody like these mofos. What I notice is I don't see allies. I don't see an allies section, which doesn't mean they don't have any. So the history, the Iron Order Motorcycle Club was founded by 8 individuals, and we just named them, on Independence Day. I didn't even think about that. July 4, 2004. And that Independence Day is going to, have a little bit of something to do with and we'll think about that. The following years, the club expanded to Kentucky. By 2006, several chapters had been established in 5 additional states. Since then, the club has grown significantly and has approximately 283 chapters spread across the continental United States. It has also branched out internationally with 20 plus chapters in 11 other countries across the world, to include Aruba, Bonaire, Brazil, Canada, Curacao, I think that's how you say that, England, France, Germany, Puerto Rico, Slovakia, and South Korea. According to their website, the Iron Order Motorcycle Club's goal is to be like the motorcycle clubs of the 1950s and 60s, who were nonconformists. Furthermore, their website states that the IOMC is not a criminal organization and does not condone any form of criminal activity from its members. The IOMC states it's not an outlaw motorcycle club, nor do they claim to be one percenters. However, the Department of Justice and multiple California state and local enforcement agencies recognize the IOMC as an outlaw motorcycle gang. So the cops call them an OMG. The membership of the IOMC is made up of individuals from diverse backgrounds, to include active and retired military, and here's the rub for most people, law enforcement personnel. Like other clubs, they do charity, and we could, go through all that. But hell, we all do charity, so let's move that on. Criminal allegations and incidents. So This is actually my first time reading this, but they do have some criminal allegations and incidents. IOMC prides themselves in being law abiding, like many of us do. However, if you're in a motorcycle club, you're going to have some SHIT. Due to the structured makeup of the IOMC over the years past, the IOMC has been confronted by several outlaw motorcycle clubs. And we'll talk about that. The IOMC usually goes out of its way to avoid criminal activity, even requiring its members to have concealed carry weapons permits as a way to vet out convicted felons, which is another rub for a motorcycle club. Steve Cook, executive director of the Midwest Outlaw Motorcycle Gang Investigations Association. So this cop says that they make sure that their people have concealed carry permits. The IOMC has remained steadfast in being independent and neutral as a motorcycle club, which has resulted in verbal and physical confrontation with other clubs. On the 5th of June, 2013, an altercation involving the Iron Order and Los Lobos MC occurred in Cheyenne, Wyoming. The scuffle involved almost 20 people and ended with the arrest of two arrests for members of Los Lobos. It looks like nobody in the Iron Order was arrested. On June 26, 2014, Zachary Tipton, a member of the Black Pistons Motorcycle Club, a support club of the Outlaws Motorcycle Club, was shot and killed by an Iron Order prospect, Christopher Stone, who is a medic in the National Guard. The Florida State Attorney did not charge the member of the Iron Order, claiming that he believed his actions to be justified. On June 2014, a violent altercation occurred between members of the Iron Order MC and Chosen Sons Motorcycle Club. No member of the Iron Order was charged. However, 4 members of the Chosen Sons MC were arrested and received charges. You guys see this? How this is building? The attorney of one of the accused stated that he believes that people were selectively charged during this period. The group also managed to build up a significant rivalry with the Hells Angels due to their history with law enforcement. On February 2015, a shootout occurred in Meridian, Mississippi between members of the Iron Order Motorcycle Club and members of the Pistoleros MC. 3 people were injured. On June 10, 2015, the Iron Order MC was involved in a fight with the Iron Horseman MC in Kentucky. 1 person was hit by a vehicle. Later that year, 3 more people would be shot when altercations occurred between the Iron Order and the Bandidos Motorcycle Club. On June 19, 2015, around 9:45 p.m., a fight broke out outside a restaurant in Lower Heidelberg Township, Pennsylvania, between Iron Order members Wayne Ritchie and Timothy Martin and Mark Groff. Groff's fiance, Tanya Fott, got involved, during which time she fell in front of a moving vehicle and is believed to have been run over by the back right wheel. The Berks District Attorney, John T. Adams, stated that their investigation did not uncover enough information to file homicide charges. On January 30, 2016, an altercation that would come to be known as National Western Complex Shootout occurred in Denver, Colorado. I think this is probably one of the most famous ones. At the National Western Complex, members of the Mongols Motorcycle Club and members of the Iron Order Motorcycle Club clashed. This resulted in multiple injuries. 2 members of the Mongols were shot, one of whom died. The Iron Order claimed that the act was in self-defense, which the group had been acquitted on many times in the past. The Florida State Attorney General did not press charges on the club. This forced the Mongols to take a very different approach for their club by holding a press conference, which they don't normally do, right? To publicly announce that the club did not agree this shooting was in self-defense. And they were very, very adamant about that, to actually hold a press conference, because they don't talk to the press. But they did this one time say that they disagreed that the shooting was self-defense and that it was, in fact, an act of murder. Full patch member of the Iron Order MC, Derek Kong Duran, was arrested after the murder and can be witnessed in video surveillance at the complex holding a firearm, as well as being a member of the motorcycle club. Derek Duran was an employee of the Colorado Department of Corrections. Denver District Attorney Mitchell R. Morsey dropped the charges against Derek Duran. Moggle's attorney, Stephen Stubbs, made this statement. Pulling a gun after one of your buddies pushes someone is not reasonable and cannot be self-defense. Shooting an unarmed person that tries to disarm you after you unlawfully brandish a gun cannot be self-defense. Running to the top of the stairs, pointing a gun at the crowd below, and shooting an unarmed man that bravely tries to disarm you cannot be self-defense. So, at some point, well, July 4th, 2004, some guys got together and decided they would start a motorcycle club. I guess it was the Iron Order. 8 guys. From what we read, and from what we've heard, I wasn't there, but from what we've heard and what we've seen, they made a decision that they weren't going to do it by what we called motorcycle club protocol, in terms of they weren't going to seek permission, blessings, or negotiations. So a lot of people think 1%ers just throw a motorcycle club up anywhere they want because they're 1%ers. They can. But believe it or not, they have more negotiations than you may know or think about. They don't always just run into a damn place and do whatever they want. They ain't trying to fight all them wars. Everybody that does this, we sit down, we talk, we go into places in a way that can be as peaceful as possible, even the big guys. So this is a motorcycle club that is rumored not to have done it that way. It automatically put them on the shit list of many big clubs. Hey, they were willing to go that way. You know, anything you feel like you can handle, you can do. What then happened is they did something that a lot of motorcycle clubs are, especially outlaw motorcycle clubs, are absolutely against. They allowed people that had badges, powers of arrest. The term really is powers of arrest. So even corrections officers, if you have powers of arrest, a lot of motorcycle clubs, especially the outlaw motorcycle clubs, claim they won't let you in. Now, we've seen many instances where that doesn't seem to be the truth. We even had a guy on our show, me and Hollywood, who, man, we're talking to the guy, and next thing you know, he tells us he's a cop, undercover cop, blah, 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 and he belonged to a very famous motorcycle club. You guys will remember that I blew up, man. I just lost my cool. Hollywood threatened the poor guy, and we ended the show because he was just saying something that we just I couldn't get my mind around at the time. You're telling me, you know, you belong to this major 1% club and you're a cop. I lost it. But hell, there's maybe more cops in these things than we know about. Certainly those that have infiltrated. I mean, Ken Croak is just running all around the country talking about his infiltration of the pagans and other clubs. So they took on, for someone who doesn't know, okay, why does everybody hate them? Well, you could look at the list of people of motorcycle clubs that it says on Wikipedia that are their rivals. Seems like every damn body that's out there. You look at the list of motorcycle clubs that they've had incidents with, and of all those incidents that we read about, I don't believe that we read that. I think only one might have been arrested. And I don't think anybody sustained any charges or went to jail. So if you have law enforcement in your motorcycle club, if you have law enforcement in your motorcycle club and your motorcycle club gets into altercations and those law enforcement people are perceived to have shot the first shot, or as Attorney Stubbs said, pulling a gun after one of your buddies pushes someone is not reasonable. If these kinds of things have happened and your people get off and it's perceived that it's because they're law enforcement, and you're not going to be liked. You're not going to be well liked at all. They didn't follow, they followed what we consider the American dream. I will do what I want, what I can stand, what I can protect. I'm not going to go to your meeting. I'm not going to your council. I'm not doing any of that. And as a startup club, that didn't go too good for them. And they're not the only ones. There are other startup clubs, and I've talked to so many. Like I talked to the founder of the Kinfolks Motorcycle Club. And this was another group that kind of came out like that. And they had a lot, and we're going to have that guy actually on our show. And they have a lot of wars they went through because of the way they came, the way they hit the street. When I first met Miklo, that's what he was talking about doing. And I was like, man, I've seen this before. Don't do it like that. You cause a lot more consternation sometimes than is necessary. However, for this club, the way they came out, and they will admit, they will be the first ones to admit, I've talked to their international presidents, they'll be the first one to admit, we're not particularly proud of everything we've done. We didn't know a lot about what we were doing at the time. But we've made some changes. But we are who we are. We are exactly who we are. And that's who we're going to be. We can't be anything else than who and what we are. So if you're wondering about who these guys are and what they are, and should you join them or not, whatever you do, you don't do anything because of what somebody else thinks. I wouldn't give a damn about what anybody thought about my motorcycle club. You do things based on who you are and what impact somebody makes on you. If you want to know why people don't like them, they didn't particularly come in by a way that we consider MC protocol. They allow law enforcement in their club. They will tell you we don't have as many cops as some of you mofos, and we don't have as many as we did. We even have chapters that ain't cops, so we're not no cop club. They'll tell you, but they also will say on their website that we allow anyone, but we don't really want felons. We even make our people have concealed carry permits so we can get rid of felons. We don't want felons. We don't want people who don't engage in. We want people who don't engage in criminal activities. So they consider themselves a law-abiding group. But because of the kinds of trouble they've had, law enforcement considers them an OMG, outlaw motorcycle gang, in some places. So they've had enough SHIT, right, to have their fair share of troubles. Now, like many big motorcycle clubs, they've had issues. They've had splits, two or three splits that have introduced some other motorcycle clubs with the word iron in them. So I believe, I'm not sure, I believe Iron Legacy might be one of those. If I'm wrong, jump on me. Right? I think Iron Legacy might have been one that came from them. And I think there's a couple others. So They they got a lot of issues going on with people liking them or not liking them or whatever. They are absolutely probably a club on their own, right? So if you join that motorcycle club, you particularly might not be welcomed on the set, particularly. So this is a motorcycle club that is probably very comfortable with being with their own folks, right? But for me, I love it when I have what we call a blackout in my nation, when all the Black Sabbath goes somewhere, it's a blackout and ain't nothing but us. And so if you're cool with that kind of existence, where the only motorcycle club houses you might be going to are your own, then that you'll be good with an organization like that. They are happy in their own skin. And that means something in the world, being happy in your own skin. So that's why people don't like them. Outlaw motorcycle clubs that have gone to war with them or skirmished with them and had their people killed or hurt or whatever, and those folks didn't get arrested, the Iron Order folks, they absolutely despise these guys. I imagine that you would too if you were in that situation. But you know, that's not that that's not something I've ever had to deal with. Fortunately for me, my club hasn't had to fight too many people. So I don't. I just saw something yesterday that really blew my mind. You guys might remember Tekashi 6ix9ine. He got in trouble and he snitched out his group for his gang for a so he could get less than a 47-year sentence. Well, yesterday, last night, I think March 21st, he was caught slipping in uh, a bathroom where they whooped his ass. Let me see if this works. I don't know if you guys hear this, uh, but they whooped his ass, and um, I'll show you guys that. That's them. Like, yeah, they got at your boy, and these two guys, one like 50 years old, right? They whooped up on your boy really good, and I mean, uh, his face is all messed up, man. Um, Matter of fact, I might have a picture of that. And I'll tell you, and this was him right here, right after the whooping. Um, Kind of embarrassing. This guy was following him out. I mean, he had to leave out of there in his, you know, panties, shorts, whatever you want to call them. They look like panties to me. I don't know why my show wants to freeze right now, but you can see his face is all bloody and he's all beaten up. And this was some guys who decided that okay, and what I understand is he was invited into into the bathroom, right, by these guys. Mad, this guy is upset. You know, he's been beaten up. His face is all bloody, and all of this stuff. And from what I read, he was invited into the bathroom for a one-on-one, and he took his little ass in there for the one-on-one. And when he got in there, oh, here's it. Yeah, here's the picture of his face right here. And I'm going to connect this for you guys. There's a connection here. When he got in there, he got jumped, and they but he went, he went, he went. He showed up in there by himself, and you can call him all kinds of names or whatever, and but he went in there. He took his little ass in there one on one and got jumped. But he went. He didn't run none of that stuff. He took that whooping, and everybody's saying they got him. Now, somebody said, and they're right. Somebody said he should have been listening to this guy, and we all should listen to this guy. This guy would show you how not to get your ass whooped. This is the dude. If you're not listening to this guy, you ain't listening, right? But somebody said he should have listened to that guy. The point I want to make about all this is, and this is what happens to Iron Order. You got these dudes that beat him up, and you should have heard the guy. The guy was saying, "Hey, man, I want to be famous. I'm whooping you." And he gets invited in there on a one-on-one, and they all jump him. At least two guys. It might have been more. Jump him. Well, where's the one-on-one? You was talking all that noise, and now you've made a total video, and you're getting ready to go to prison. By the way, because you got to sign in to LA Fitness. You got to sign in and sign out. So you're getting ready to go to prison. You just beat up a federal witness for some street cred BS. But here's the deal: Tekashi 69 never did a damn thing to you. You just jumped into some business that ain't yours. He didn't touch you. He didn't snitch on you. He didn't do shit to you. But you're getting ready to go to prison and jump in a fight that ain't even yours. And this is something that happens to Iron Order. A lot of people have an issue with the club that never did anything to them. So um, I think that's kind of interesting that you never had a negative interaction with this club in the first place. Now, these other clubs that have had negative interactions with them, they have my grandma used to say, a bone to pick. They got a bone to pick with those guys. But you ain't got no bone to pick. And so I would say, why would you go to jail for Tekashi 69? He never snitched on you. He ain't even in your gang. Like, but maybe that's the way maybe that's the way the street works. I'm not I hate to say it because I want to be tough. I want to be tough like Danny D'Lo and them. But I've never been in the street. I'm not I was in the Navy. Yeah, I don't have a prisoner number. I want one now. If you could just go get you a prisoner number, like not go to jail, but have a prisoner number. Like if you could do what do they call those things? When you the valor, what's it called? Where you unjustified valor or whatever, like when you put on a SEAL team uniform and you're not a SEAL. If I could just get a prison stamp, right? Because in the motorcycle club, gang world, whatever, those gang shows and those prison shows, like if you don't have a number, 719232, boy, check it out. Chino, 1966, baby. You're nothing. You're nobody without one of those numbers. But I don't have a number. I was in the Navy. SSN 716, that's my number. Fast Attack Los Angeles class submarine. That's my number. SSN 691. Stolen Valor. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. SSN 691. That's my number. So I don't understand particularly, how the street works. Maybe that's what you do. A snitch gets a target on him and everybody goes after him. Let me tell you what, Tekashi 69 could walk past me every day of the week and I'd be like, oh, wow, it's Tekashi 69. Can I get a picture with you? Like I'm not fixing to slap him around, beat him up, or even have anything negative to say about him. An iron order dude could walk past me any day of the week. If he wants to shake my hand, I haven't they haven't done nothing to me. I haven't done nothing to them. And if they want to come on my show, they already know. If I, that's just the way it is. I don't my club has gotten out of the business of blessing clubs. That was something we used to do long time ago. We got out of that business as one percenter clubs started getting uh national. They weren't always that way. They had regions. So when they were in their regions, you might have a big 99 that was running everything in their region because there really wasn't a bunch of one percenters around. That's kind of changed now. So we ain't blessing no clubs, we ain't holding no territory. And so we're not upset with you. However you come in, that's how you come in, bro. Just don't bring that over here. You got some issues, deal with them over there. And that's kind of how I see it. I'm not fixing to clout chase or jump down anybody's throat for who they are and what they're doing. Uh, so your boys, the Iron Order cats, they got chapters all over the world. It seems ain't nobody pushed them out of a state, and for very legitimate reasons. You're not fixing to go mess with people that have cops in their club. That you'd be a goddamn fool. Oh man, listen to me cussing. I'm not even supposed to be doing that. So anyway, I just wanted to say that somebody asked, so that's what I'm saying. This is what I know about them. They didn't come on the set right or what we would consider right. They'll be the first to tell you that. We didn't do it right. But here we are, and we're hoping to make friends. We're hoping to at some time be accepted, but we're okay if we're not. I've heard that from them personally. I've heard that from their internationals personally. We hope to one day live some of this down, and it's not impossible that that could happen because it's not impossible because some of these major clubs that have fought each other and blown up each other's clubhouses and killed each other's members, they've made peace. So it's possible um, that um, it's possible that these guys can make peace too. Somebody said, Unc, would you join Iron Order? I am a proud member of the mighty Black Sabbath Motorcycle Club Nation. The way I see it is every motorcycle club probably wants to be like us. And eventually, we'll get there. We'll take you all. We can hand them patches in and put on our shit any day. We'll be glad to have you. So anyway, that's just and if you don't feel that way about your club, then you shouldn't be in it. Oh, somebody says swear jar. Because you guys you know I don't be cussing like that. Anyway, uh 43 minutes. That's a long time for this. No need to talk this to death. Hope you guys saw my video yesterday. What the F is a 50-50 club? That was a lot of fun. I made that video quite some time ago, but it uh, is somebody said 50-50 clubs is the reason that blessings aren't given anymore. Somebody said 50-50 clubs is the reason that blessings aren't given anymore. So I don't doubt that. Yeah, I guess I guess I dropped that whole stream. Huh. Just pulled it all back up. So I guess everything dropped, which means it's time for me to go. Wow, I lost everything. That's freaking crazy. Uh, I don't know, man. These computers are something else. As you know, I can't even hear myself today. So I don't even know if you guys heard the whole video or not. But I hope you did. I saw all these people on, so maybe you did. All right. So that's my 2 cents about that subject. I hope anybody watching this, now you know why Iron Order is so hated. Should that affect whether or not you join? That's on you. Should that affect whether or not you're friends with them or whatever? Like if you don't like a club that is law abiding, then you might not like them. But there might not be so law abiding if you look at the news reports. If you don't like a club that openly will have police in it, then they're not for you. Well, if you don't care what other people say and you find a brotherhood there, then that would be a club for you. That's all you're going to get out of Black Dragon. Do you think you should join? Bro, I think you need to hold out. Start out like you can hold out. Go where you're comfortable. They've obviously got a lot of people over there comfortable with them. But are they hated? Absolutely, they're hated. Um, do they march alone in many ways? Yes, they do. And are you going to catch a little flack from joining them? You could. Does that make sense? All right. My 2 cents. Just mine. And I'd love to hear your 2 cents in the comment section below. They're always welcome. Anybody's always welcome to come on my show and give their opinion, their side of the story. We're open for that. We don't do got you news media here. We're on the side. We love clubs. So if you want to come on over here and talk, which I doubt the Iron Order ever will, but they're absolutely welcome on the show. All right, man. Make sure to check me out. I'm not going to play any commercials because I don't think anything is playing. So I will say, make sure to get my books, the Sergeant in Arms Bible, Prospects Bible, President's Bible, Public Relations Officer's Bible, all available on Amazon, Kindle, or at blackdragonsgear.com. Got that? Join our daily podcast, The Dragon's Lair Motorcycle Chaos, wherever you get your podcasts. You can find Black Dragon Biker TV on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. Love it if you hit the like, share, and subscribe button. We have a Discord channel. You can get the link on the Discord in the description box below. If you want to get in touch with me, it's Black Dragon at blacksabbathmc.com. Love to see you there. My Cash App, if you want to support us that way, is $biker Prez, Prez. All right. Love, peace, and motor grease. I'm Black Dragon. Thanks for tuning in, and get skinny. And hopefully these outro buttons work because I can't hear a damn thing. Bye-bye. Dun, 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 dun.